Korean American Community Foundation is a grant-making organization that was started in 2014. And since then, we have distributed approximately $1.6 million in grants to 23 nonprofit partners who are on the ground, really addressing the most crucial issues. And through that, we are becoming a platform for collaboration, conversation, and collective action to really address some of the underlying issues in our community. And it's something that we can't do alone, we have to do together. This is our biggest fundraiser of the year, every year. And whether we do it virtually or not, this is where we get the funds to really give back to the greater needs of the community. And so this is where we have an opportunity to bring our donors and our supporters and our volunteers and our nonprofit partners all together in one place. Welcome to our first virtual gala. Today we shine light on the work we do in our community. We highlight our nonprofit partners who are on the front lines addressing the most crucial needs in the Bay Area. And we're also here today to celebrate two extraordinary individuals, trailblazers, who have paved the way for many of us as Asian Americans and Korean Americans.
We begin this evening with a special thank you to our presenting sponsor, Marcy and Young Sun, and to Samsung for helping to make this evening possible.
And thank you to all of our sponsors, Platinum sponsor, Gold sponsor, Silver sponsor, Patron sponsor, and Video and Wine sponsor for standing with us during this time.
We also want to take this time to give special thanks to Mr. Jong-moon Lee. His generous donation has helped to provide Korean meals to more than 600 seniors throughout the Bay Area during this difficult time. We take this moment to also recognize all of our grantee partners for their dedication and service to our community.
Today, we're honoring Dr. Soyeon, South Korea's first and only astronaut selected from an applicant pool of 36,000 candidates. And she trained in Russia for a year before launching into space in April 2008 for a 12-day mission in the International Space Station, where she conducted numerous biological science experiments. Dr. Yi is currently a lecturer at the University of Washington, where she hopes to inspire the next generation of space explorers. In person, Dr. Yi is enthusiastic and approachable, and I'm sure you'll enjoy getting to know her more this evening.
Kwon is an American TV host and a former government official, a lawyer, and a management consultant. He was the winner of the reality TV show Survivor, Cook Islands in 2006. He was an unlikely winner where he showed strength, intelligence, and leadership, breaking the typical Asian stereotype. He appeared again in Survivor this year, Winners at War, for one of the highest rated seasons. As a Stanford and Yale Law School grad, and having accomplished what he has accomplished in the non-traditional areas, he became an exceptional role model for Asian Americans by breaking the bamboo ceiling and the traditional mold for Asians. We are excited to honor him at our gala this year. And for the second year, I have the honor to congratulate this year's Karen Haas Scholarship recipients, Daniel Lee and Stephanie Park. These two high school seniors impressed us, not only with their academic achievements, but also with their incredible leadership. Congratulations, Stephanie and Daniel.
And wherever you are tonight watching, we thank you for joining us as we celebrate our One Hana community this evening. Cheers.
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 Cheers, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, KACF KACF-SF. Mr. Kim, Mr. Lee, kimchi philosophies and hypotheses can't define how you be dropping these kaktugi, nurongji, takbang, bulgogi, free with the kalbi, late night hodori, rumbling stomach is calling out for more. Cream food, yangshik, large civil war. Cream food raised me, settling the score. Soul food, triumphant burgers to my door. Kimbap, yakbap, ojingo with hip hop, mad spicy rhymes with hot. Kimchi bokobat, you the restaurant and find this link. Better than Korean food, delectable, smell the aroma. Korean food, coma, got knocked out like a bicycle. Coma. Please, Home Alone is a Korean food, or is it Tony Rocio? I jam mama's food over any other. It's spam is another. Spam in my troop, spam in my pop, spam in my cook, and the spam won't stop. Nobody sings spam, pong pong shike, sex, spam. Spam is flaming, tasting so sweet. The thrill of consuming very poor meat, yo, ping su, mochi, no. Tang at a very hot chick tang. When you're drunk, you know what's up. Long tang, and that's what's up. Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Welcome to the virtual Gala for KACF-SF. Thank you so much. We really want to thank Lena and the wonderful staff, all the board members, the sponsors, and all of you for being here tonight. We know that it was an adjustment, but you really pulled through and worked so hard for putting this thing together. We're gonna have a wonderful time tonight. We have amazing special guests from KQED anchor Mina Kim, and also Kwon and Soyeon Yi. Just amazing people. We're gonna have a fireside chat with them later tonight. But first, some housekeeping before we begin. We have an auction tonight. So there's some auction items. If everyone can check, log in. You can log into that website and you can bid on the items. The auction doesn't end till tomorrow, Sunday at 5 p.m. But please put your bid in today during the gala, and you can outbid each other. And it's a great way to give and support. Also, count me in parties. These are limited parties to a limited number of people. Amazing different types of events you could be part of for KACF. So check in that website right there you're looking at right now. And another way to be a part of donations is text to give. There's a number right there. Text to give. We're going to have the number up throughout the evening, and we're going to ask everyone to just continue to donate. We're also going to have a thermometer later to show how far we've gone in the texting to give. So please text to give. Also, right now, you look at that chat button down on the bottom. Please slam that chat button and tell me right now what city you're representing. We have people from all over the country. Please hit that chat button. Make sure you send it to all. Could you send it to all, please, right now? San Francisco in the house. Yes. What's up? New York in the house. Thank you. Los Gatos, San Carlos, NYC, Alameda, Berkeley, Oakland, Oaktown, Seattle, Chi-Town, LA, Napa, Berkeley, Diamond Bar, SF, Blackhawk, Palo Alto, Hermosa Beach, Menlo Park, Danville. Man, this is like a rap, man. I gotta put my glass back on, like San Jose, Marin, SF, Sunnyvale. Thank you, Fremont, Castro Valley, everywhere. Thank you for everywhere you are. Thank you so much for your support. I can't even read them all. There's so many people on. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go on to, Soul in the house, thank you. Fund a need. This is so many different things that we support at KACF-SF. You could text, and you could specifically want your donation to go to a specific cause, and you could see the amazing things that KACF does. Shelters for survivors for domestic violence, counseling for struggling youth, training certification for bilingual counselors, supplies for patients with chronic diseases, books and therapy materials for children, hot nutritious lunches for 10 seniors. That's amazing. And I know a lot of us, we have our day jobs and we're very busy and we're 100 miles per hour, we're stressed as business people, and we own our own businesses, and we know that we want to help and support. And there's so many different issues in our community. KACF-SF helps so many different causes. This is just one way. If you want to help, this is the way. And so please, if you can, donate. I know that a lot of things in our community, we sweep it under the rug. It's part of our culture. We don't really talk about it a lot. So please, if you could give. And I'm a preacher's kid, not to get too religious, but a lot of these things that are listed here are needs that from the Bible that it says that we really should be taking care of, like especially those in need. So let's really give back. Thank you so much. So that's the fund and need. Also, share your pics. Take a selfie tonight. Everyone take a selfie, or if you're with your family or your friends, take a selfie and email to KACF to Gala 2020 at KACF-SF.org, or post it on Facebook and Instagram and hashtag KACF-SF Gala 2020. So hashtag selfie, please share your pics, your wonderful pics, and you could even be in your underwear if you want. However you want to do it, just please share it right now. At this time, I want to bring up a very special person. She's actually been to a couple of my comedy shows in LA. I want to thank her, respect her much for all of her hard work and everything she does. This is my second gala here. We want to bring up Executive Director Lena right now. So thank you. Welcome, Lena.
Hi.
Lena, what has KACF-SF been up to these days?
Well, we've been up to a lot actually. When COVID-19 actually first hit, people asked us how we were gonna respond to the community. And as a convener and connector in our community, we realized we really needed to bring together the strengths of our community leaders and our nonprofit partners. And this next video will actually speak for itself. So Tina, take it away. Wow, that video made me want to dance. I just want to say we couldn't have done this alone. It really took our community, our philanthropist, Mr. Chung-Moon Lee, our donors, our community partners, our volunteers. And this really speaks to just what it takes to actually do this. And it really speaks to what we can do when we come together as a community.
It really does. And especially shout out to all the anonymous people right there as well. You mentioned dancing, Lena. There's also people who just help out and support in so many different ways. So keep the text to give going, 205-539-6955, 205-539-6955. We're up to $15,000. Thank you so much, everyone. Remember, the first 200 people, you get those awesome Harman headphones. All right, right now, we're gonna have a special fireside chat with our special guests, and I wanna bring up our KQED anchor. We're very privileged to have her. Please welcome Mina Kim.
Oh, thank you so much, PK. It's really great to be here. and to support the important work of the Korean American Community Foundation, especially in these times as you talked about. And tonight I get to talk with two truly exceptional Korean American community leaders, Kwon, who won Survivor, and Soyeon, Korea's one and only astronaut. And Soyeon, I have to start with you because today of all days was the launch of SpaceX. And I know that I was really moved when I was watching it. I can only imagine what it was like for you, what you must have been thinking and feeling as you watched those astronauts blast off into space. So what was going through your mind?
Yeah, so nice to meet you, everyone. And then you can see the screen and whole SpaceX launch period that keep reminds of my launch. And then you can see which is the new one, which is the old one. And then on the left side, you see the Dragon capsule inside. There's a two cool astronauts in there. And then down there, you can see the Falcon rocket. And right side, you can see packed little, small, cute Soyuz capsule. And we always should touch each other. Maybe during the COVID, we cannot fly because we couldn't have a social distance enough each other. And down there, there's a Soyuz launch pad. And then all those comparison is also interesting to me, and which is the old government lead space era, and which is the old commercial lead space era thing. So that's really touching moment. I almost cried, and then yeah, a little bit tears coming down.
Well, I don't know if a lot of people realize, but for you to be able to join in training with Russia and to go to the International Space Station, you had to beat out 36,000 people. Can you talk about what it took mentally and physically to take that final spot and the relationships that you had with the other finalists?
So yeah, I cannot believe it's already 14 years ago, but 2016, I read about newspaper articles and Korea's finally tried to find the first Korean astronaut to fly to the space. And then I was a graduate student and I thought like, oh, that might be really interesting. And I thought, oh, why not just apply? But I would never imagine that I can make final because I can see the number 36,206 people is already applied. And then how can I beat all rest of the 36,000 people? So I just take it as it is the maybe wonderful memory of end of my academic life. So with my flexible schedule, maybe I can apply. And you can see that there's a screening regimen and marathon and physical check, interview and whole week medical test and a hyperbolic chamber thing and all those kind of things going on. And every single step, I feel so grateful to survive. And then some people ask me, how can you make a final? But I didn't mean to make a final. I just survive every single step. Let me survive until 300. Let me survive until 30. And every single step stacking up. And then finally I met final 8 peoples. You can see all those 8 peoples. And we went to Russia together to check with the Russian peoples because they will help us to fly to the space. And we have a zero gravity flight like that. And then at the time I talked with my friends, you know what, even if I cannot make final, I went to the Russia. I did a zero gravity flight and then, oh my God, that's a lot of experience. So I don't have anything to lose right now. So I don't mind if I can make a final or not, but I finally made a final and I went to the Russia. And originally I was a backup, but 1 month before launch, changed it to the primary. So that is an incredible process and experience.
Well, it is so amazing to hear how you did that and the tenacity that it took to do it. And one of the things that I learned today when I was watching SpaceX was that astronauts take up something special or meaningful or important to them. And one story that I loved was that you took kimchi with you to space. And can you just talk about what that took? I mean, to take kimchi up there.
Yeah, right. And then it's a very historic space flight for the Korean government also, whole Korean community also. So we should kind of develop Korean space food. So we picked the 10 different kinds of space food, but you know, Koreans, we cannot miss kimchi. So we especially, it is done by the scientific research institution. They developed the space kimchi. So there's 2 kinds of kimchi. One is the canned one, another one is a freeze-dried one. And left side, you can see the kimchi can. You've never seen the kimchi can in the H Mart, but it's for only space flight. And we made a really expensive canned kimchi because it's for the astronaut, it's for the historic flight. So special cabbage and special pepper sauce and everything, but we should do radiation. to kill all the probiotics, all the microbes. It's the regulation of the space flight. So even if it was the wonderful kimchi, but right after radiation, it became 100 years old, segi kimchi. But you know what, when I was in space, even that kimchi was so tasty because I miss kimchi a lot. For a whole year, Russian space training. And right side is the bokum kimchi. It's the fried kimchi, kind of like that, but it's a freeze dried. So you should put the hot water in there and then shake it. It's almost like a kind of kimchi ramen, instant kimchi ramen. You can see the kimchi, small little kimchi block. And then if you put in the ramen, it's kind of a little bit saggy and dried one. So taste is not that wonderful, but meaning is incredible to me, I believe.
That's such a good point. And I just want to, I'm loving some of these comments right now about the kimchi. We're seeing space kimchi, we're seeing spimchi. And just a reminder, if you have questions for Soyeon or Yul during this conversation, please feel free to add them to this Zoom webinar chat. And I want to bring Yul into the conversation now. And, you know, Yul Kwon, like Soyeon's journey, going on Survivor was such a major life-altering experience for you. And I gotta wonder, just what made you do it? What made you want to go on?
Oh, hey. Hi, everybody. Why did I want to go on Survivor? Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to get my video going. By the way, do you have a virtual background of me, like on an island or something, or is it my living room? You good?
I'm seeing your living room.
Okay, cool. All right. Thought I might have been overdressed. So why did I go on Survivor? You know, I think for me, a lot of it was really just when I was growing up, I had a lot of self-confidence issues. I had a lot of anxiety issues that I really struggled with. And, you know, this is something that I think a lot of people don't really know about me because I think they see me on TV and they kind of think I must be naturally extroverted. But the reality is when I was a child, I really struggled with some significant kind of social anxiety issues that really I found to be quite debilitating. I had this thing called social sweating, where anytime I felt like I was kind of in the spotlight or people were looking at me, I would just start breaking out in this uncontrollable sweat. And it just made me horrendously embarrassed. And, you know, it's one of those things where if you're worried it's going to happen, it would almost kind of trigger another anxiety attack. And so that just made it really hard for me. And I also got bullied a lot when I was a child as well. And that really kind of impacted my self-confidence for a very long time. And I think another thing that really had to do with it was just growing up, you know, I watched a lot of television, but I didn't see many people who look like me, people from our community on television or in leadership roles. And I think that also had this very kind of, I don't know, this pervasive influence in terms of how I saw myself and what I imagined myself to be able to become when I grew up. So, you know, it took me a very long time, many years, I would say, to get to a point where I felt good about myself and I wasn't kind of scared and anxious all the time. And when the opportunity to go on Survivor came up, you know, I got recruited for the show because the season I was on was very controversial. They had a race wars where they divide the contestants based on race. So they had a white tribe, a black tribe, a Latino tribe, and an Asian tribe. And so they couldn't get enough Asian people to be on the tribe because you don't get a lot of Asian people applying to be on reality shows. So they ended up recruiting all of us. And when I got the call, you know, I was just, you know, at first I thought it was like, why would I do something like this? So, you know, for someone who's shy and introverted like myself, the idea of being on television was just like the furthest thing from my mind. But I thought about how I felt when I was a kid and the absence of people that I could see in these prominent kind of roles, whether on television or in real life, really kind of limited, I think, how I saw myself and what I thought I could become. And so I really thought, you know, if I have this opportunity to go on this show, especially on a reality show, because the great thing about a reality show is that it's not scripted. So, you know, the challenge for most people of color is that when they're cast on television, they have to read from a script. And so they have to conform to what some, you know, other person in Hollywood thinks how a Korean American or Asian American should act. And the great thing about a reality show is that it's unscripted, so I could be myself. And I thought if I went on the show and I did, you know, okay on it, then maybe there might be another kid out there, a Korean American who's growing up and struggling with the same issues that I had. And maybe it might help them and giving them an opportunity to imagine something more than what they thought they could have been otherwise, and to maybe find some of that self-confidence and not have these identity issues that I struggled with when I was growing up. So that's why I went on.
You know, that story about why you went on is actually new to me. I didn't realize that you struggled with anxiety issues and other challenges. And I wonder when you made the decision to be really open about that, because that takes a lot of courage, a lot of vulnerability as well.
Yeah, it's, for most of my life, I hid these things because I was so embarrassed. I didn't talk to my parents about it. I didn't tell my friends. I had this one thing that stemmed from a bullying experience when I was in elementary school. But there were a group of older kids who would attack the kids like me in the bathroom. And that just gave me this horrendous anxiety about going to the bathroom. It's called shy bladder syndrome. And it's something that I struggled with most of my life. I just could not go to the bathroom in public spaces when other people are around. And if you think about it, it's incredibly constraining because it was hard for me to go to birthday parties or to ball games or to movies or even to the mall because I was always afraid that I wouldn't be able to go to the bathroom. And I was always afraid that people would find out. And so I hid this from everyone I knew. And there was like this deep secret of mine that I was so embarrassed about. And I just didn't understand why I couldn't be normal. And so I hid this for a really long time, even well into my adulthood. And, after I won Survivor, I got a lot of, I got in the spotlight and I got asked to speak to a lot of audiences and a lot of kids. And one thing that started happening that made me feel really uncomfortable was a lot of Korean parents kind of looked to me as this like golden child. And I could see them telling their kids, oh, why can't you be like this Yule person, right? Who went to these schools and like went on television and won this reality show. And that started making me really uncomfortable because I just remembered how I felt this pressure that I had to be perfect and I didn't want to let my parents down. And I was afraid to let them know how I was feeling, what I was struggling with, because I thought they would be disappointed in me. And I just realized like, gosh, like I'm being used to add this kind of additional pressure to children today. And that's exactly the opposite of the reason I wanted to go on. It occurred to me that, look, if I'm not in a position to talk openly about these things, how could anyone else? How could I expect anyone else to be able to disclose these things? I just won a reality show, and like if I'm not confident enough right now to talk openly about these things, then how could I expect anyone else to be able to have the ability or the courage to open up themselves? And so I started talking more openly about this. I mean, it was really hard for me. It was really scary. But I got to say, the more I started talking about this, the more like people, kids would reach out to me and tell me, I'm struggling with the same thing or something similar to it. And I didn't know that there were other people who were going through what I went through. And so it really meant a lot to me. And, so the more I heard that, the more I felt, okay, maybe I should talk more openly about these things. And the more I talked about it, weirdly, like the better I felt. Like it was almost therapeutic because this kind of deep, dark thing that I was scared of that people would find out was out in the open. And once that happened, it felt like this massive pressure came off my shoulders. So yeah, I mean, for my part, I feel like there's nothing that I want to hide because I'm not perfect. I really struggled. And, if I can, there's one other kid out there who's going through these issues and I could show them, look, I went through the same things and I turned out okay. Like I was able to live a happy life and be normal. Then maybe that might give the next kid, some hope in being able to do the same thing.
Well, Yul, before I bring Soyeon back into the conversation, I did want to just ask you if you could share with us what you're working on right now at Google.
Yeah, so I'm working at Google now, and I'm leading this project. I don't know if people have heard about it, but there's been this effort to try to use technology to try to contain the spread of COVID-19. And one of the things that is an effective technique for controlling the spread of infection is contact tracing. So basically, if someone's been infected, a contact tracer will interview that person to understand all the other people they've been next to over the last 2 weeks. And then they'll reach out to that person to tell them, you might have been exposed, so please self-quarantine or get tested. And so I've been working at Google and this partnership with Apple to try to create these automated contact tracing tools on phones. And so this is basically launching now. There are a number of countries around the world that are deploying this technology. And I don't know if this stuff is going to work, but if it works even a little bit, I'm hoping we might be able to do something that can actually help the world get back to normal.
I'm so glad to hear that that's what you're working on. It's just so important at this time. And I want to read some of the things that people are saying and some of the questions that we've been getting. I mean, a true survivor, which is so true. It's such a good way of putting it. One of the questions was how you overcame the anxiety. I know you've talked about how you decided to be open about it and to share it, and also some of the things that you went through to decide to go on to Survivor. But somewhere in between there, you must have really had to kind of face it head on.
Yeah, it was really hard. In retrospect, I wish I had been more open about it. I wish I'd gotten help sooner because I think it would have helped me. But I got to a point when I just realized, if I don't change, then I'm just going to be scared and lonely the rest of my life. I looked ahead and imagined what my life would look like if it unfolded. And I just realized I would just be very lonely and very, very sad. And so I made a decision that I have to start doing something. And the way I did it was, it's hard to change yourself all at once, right? But if you really break it down, so I just try to make it very small goals. Like today I'm going to raise my hand in class, or today I'm going to talk to someone I don't know. And if you just tell yourself it's not the outcome that matters, but just the process, and you're committed to that, then I found that over time you can change yourself quite a bit if you can change your behaviors. And the other thing I realized is it's hard to change yourself all by yourself. And so it really helps to have support and the right structures around you. So I started playing sports and joining teams. I took a drama class, and even though they scared me, I found that having other people who are going through this with you helped. And the other thing I realized is that if I push myself out of my comfort zone and sort of put myself in environments where I have to change, it's going to push me way outside my comfort zone, then it's often a catalyst for making you kind of realize what you're capable of. And so a lot of my life has been I know even today, it's not like I'm completely over these things. I've just learned how to cope with them. But I've learned that there's a way to approach the problems and the things that you're most scared of so that you can be able to control it and to not let it dominate your life. And so that's what, for me, Survivor was about, and a lot of what I've tried to do, which is just trying to grow and force myself to grow.
Well, let me bring Soyeon back in for the Q&A with some of the audience members. And we have this question from Pam. Was the editing of Survivor true to your experience on the island?
Yes and no. There's so much material, they can slice and dice it any way they want. So sometimes they'll decide this person's going to be a villain, this person's going to be a hero. I think in my case, it's pretty true to form. I was very just nervous about how it would be edited, especially with the racial twist in the first season. So I got to say, I wasn't myself in the sense that I was just kind of I think in my normal life, I'm kind of not silly, but but yeah, yeah. So for the most part, I think for me, it turned out okay. Definitely not for other people, but in my case, I got lucky.
Well, Rebecca Choi wants to know what Yul and Soyeon's dreams are, having accomplished so much already. And so Soyeon, I'll go to you. What is your dream now? Since clearly going to space was probably a culmination of a lifelong dream as well.
Yeah, right. Actually, you kind of remind of the time when I thinking about a lot of things right before my launch, and then I got a phone call from my mom, and mom almost cried, and then because small little house of my mom and daddy was crowded by all the journalists from all different kinds of newspaper companies and kind of TV company, and she feels so embarrassed to open the house because our house is too small and it kind of looks kind of poor, because I still remember that I grew up in the usually flooded every typhoon season, and I just wonder why we don't move up to the kind of higher place. So my dream was to move my families to the higher place in any apartment and kind of thing. So I just said, Mom, just bear 2 days and then they will go away after my lunch. But thinking, I realized that Mom, open the house and then show around and then everything, because kids who watching the TV, they should see our house and you and parents, and they might have a hope. If she can make it, maybe I can make it, because look at that small little house, look at that kind of environment. And actually, you know what? That makes my dreams again, because after coming back, I realized that a lot of small little Korean kids have a hope to fly to space, because whenever they watch the TV, all the astronauts, the white Caucasian, big, huge guy, but they could see, oh, she looks more like me. And so my dream is ultimately in the future until my death, and then I really want to be a proud first Korean astronaut. So sometimes Buzz Aldrin kind of inspire me. I better not divorce. I better not drug addicted. I better be the kind of inspiration for all females and kids and who study engineering. And then, so sometimes some kids come to me, how can you be kind of authentic? How can you be frank? Oh, your weakness, oh, your kind of thing. And then I thought, like, you know what? I'm an engineer. I always thinking about efficiency. If you just open your weakness, you don't have to worry about 100 times lie or hiding. So just the one time. So that save a lot of the energy. So that's the
Well,
kind of engineering.
I can guarantee you, Soyeon, that you are already accomplishing the dream of being inspiring to others. Yul, real quick, if there's something that you're aspiring to or dreaming of right now.
Oh, I'm dreaming of getting more sleep. Yeah, listen, I think for me now, I feel very lucky. Like for me, it's really more, I think about my own kids now. Like I want to help them to be able to achieve their dreams. And, I'm just knowing what kind of how I felt when I was growing up. I don't want them to go through the same things that I did. And so I'm just trying to like make sure that they have that kind of confidence. And I'm optimistic because I feel like the world is different from when I grew up. Like there are a lot more of Korean Americans, Asian Americans in leadership roles and in the media. So I'm a lot more hopeful.
Yeah, me too. I did ask both of you if you could share an item that was really memorable to you from the island or from space. And so would you mind starting us off, Yul, and sharing that?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. So I got, this is my hidden immunity idol for my first season on Cook Islands, Survivor. It's the thing that helped me win the game, but more importantly, I credit it for helping me find my wife. So basically, I got stuck on a stranded island. I was able to find this, and because I found it, I got a lot of screen time. And I also lost my shirt during that episode. So basically, my wife was watching me on a viewing party, and she was like, "Hey," a viewing party of one of my castmates in a different city. And she basically said, "Hey, who's that guy?" And then he set us up, and we were married with 2 kids.
She said that when you lost your shirt, right?
That's what I think, but then she claimed otherwise. But yeah, basically.
Nice, nice. How about you, Soyeon?
So my memorable item is this diary, and you can see that. And actually, I brought this to the space, and I got some stamps like that. Hopefully, you can see that. And then that stamps you can only get space station. And I got all my crewmates' signature over here because I cannot bring so many things, even if I really want to bring so many things. So that little diary I can show you. So during the flight, I write down every day some kind of small little keywords, what I really want to remember. And some people always suspect, is it really was in space? So I have some evidence. Yeah, it was in a space station over here.
Nice.
So cool.
Yeah, so that's my precious memory from space.
Do you ever go back and read some of the entries, Soyeon?
Yeah, of course, because I'm all, you know what, not only in space, but also whole my life from the primary school until now, I write diary every night before going to bed. Because I'm an engineer, so calibration is really important. And then you always find out what is your initial thought, what you really want to do. Because every day, if you just modify a little bit, you don't know where you are. You don't know where you are come from. So sometimes I read my diary, why I really want to be an astronaut, why I apply for that. Not to be a famous, not to be in a space, not to kind of thing. I really want to do something wonderful for my life, or I really want to contribute something in the space world. So yeah, those kind of diary always help me to look back and think about where I'm going. Yeah.
Well, Soyeon, Yul, Kwon, thank you both for being such exemplary, but also honest community leaders. It's really been such a pleasure to talk with both of you. And so let me turn the program back now to PK and Lena.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mina. Thank you, Soyeon. Thank you, Yul. You're both amazing. And thank you, Mina. That was awesome.
Thank you, Mina. Okay, so as you all know, this is a very different time. And usually we would give both of you an award, a fancy award, which we're gonna actually give to you later. But since this is the day of firsts, we wanted to present you both with KACF-SF's first virtual Trailblazer Award. So thank you both for paving the way, for breaking stereotypes, just being a voice for just our community and for really tough issues as well, and for representing. So Soyeon, I present you with the first virtual Gala Award.
Thank you very much.
And Yul, here you go. I'm gonna throw this one at you. Thank you so much. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Yay!
Nice throw.
Thank you to Soyeon and thank you to you. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
That was awesome. it's amazing what technology we can do. We can transport the report over there. Thank you, Soyeon. Soyeon, you're amazing. I mean, thank you for putting pressure now on every student. You know, Korean parents like to compare to other students, and it's not even like, you know, mommy and daddy have to compete with 36 other kids. Oh, really? Soyeon, you beat out 36,000. So whatever. And then Yul, like, you know, he won Survivor and then he works at Google. Okay, thank you. I do want to say, I'm always going to remember Yul. I performed at this Asian gala one time and everybody was drinking, not paying attention to me. It's very hard to do comedy when nobody's looking at you, but Yul saw that. He was sitting in the front. He turned his chair toward me, put down his fork and knife, and he just gave me full attention. And just that small thing means a lot. So much respect. I will always remember that. You're amazing. And so thank you so much for that. I didn't get permission from Soyeon and Yul, but if you donate for the Fund a Need, the $5,000 shelter for survivors, Soyeon will take you to space with her and an autographed shirtless picture from Yul. So yeah, I'll make that happen. All right, Lena, what's next?
Well, another video. So during this time, you know, we've been so humbled by so many of our donors who've actually rallied around us and also have rallied around our community. And so we actually asked them why it is that they've given back to the community. And many of them actually shared some really heartfelt stories. And so we put that into a collage and wanted to show it to you today.
Hello and 안녕하세요.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, my name is Eddie. Growing up, I was raised primarily by my grandparents, and my grandparents were not exactly in the best of circumstances.
I grew up in a single-parent home. We recently immigrated, and I was the youngest of 4 children.
Juggling a full-time job with a newborn.
But also fight all the stereotyping along the course of developing my career.
I was one of the 2 Asians in my high school, myself and my brother. Of course, there was no one I could look up to or seek any advice from.
And so I feel like I know from firsthand experience that even the smallest act of kindness could go a really long way.
I don't think I could have gotten through that challenging time.
I started to rethink what a life of purpose was and redefine what success and fulfillment means to me.
My parents have taught us to never forget our roots. They taught us to speak in Korean and also to always value our Korean culture.
One of the things that has always stood out to me was how generous they were and how it brought so much joy to them.
My father's gift had impact on these generations of family.
The Korean community has so much to give. People that are very giving of their time, their resources.
And I'm really grateful to the people who just generously gave to me and helped me to find my identity.
As a community, we can continue to show the best of humanity.
Volunteering with the organization over the years, I saw firsthand how people really benefited.
And I think we're just starting, and I can't wait to see what we can all do together.
Our family's gift comes at a time of greatest need to the Korean American community of the Bay Area. It is wonderful to see your support has inspired others to give, not only their money, but their time and wisdom to come together with kindness.
I wish we had the kind of programs we're now helping to build. I want to continue help build these programs because these are the safety nets that a family like ours would have immensely benefited from.
I give back so that I can continue the same tradition of compassion and generosity that those before us have passed on to us.
This is why I give.
That's why I give.
Why I give.
I give.
This is why we give.
We give.
This is why I give.
And that is why I give.
Thank you so much. Definitely, this is why we give, and it definitely takes a community. Thank you so much. And we have people from so many places. At this time, we have about almost 25,000 donated, but our goal is 40,000. So we're only 15,000 away. We still have a lot of headphones to give out. Once again, it retails at $100. And we want to thank Harmon and Samsung for the donation. But we have a lot more to give. So you're getting a $100 headphone and you're donating $100 tax deductible. So please text to give right now. Let's reach that $40,000 goal. You can also fund to give for a specific goal right now. So let's do this, everyone. Thank you for everybody who's donated so far. But for the next few minutes, we're going to just play some music. And if you want to buy 2-3 headphones for your family, birthday, graduations coming up, you could hold it on for Christmas. You could buy a few more. So let's get that text to give going. Thank you. Thank you everyone who's donated so far as well. And definitely we still have a lot more headphones to give out. So 205-539-6955, everyone. We're at 25K, we get 15K more to go for our $40,000 goal. 205-539-6955. Our text to give, everyone. Let's reach the goal. Some of the people who have now we're at 27,450, 28. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's keep it going, everybody. All right, 28, come on, everybody, let's do it. Oh, whoa. Okay, I do have to give a shout out to James Kim, $5,000. Thank you so much. That is gonna help for domestic violence. Albert, thank you, Andrew, for your comment. Albert Lee, $1,000. Thank you so much.
Woo! Woohoo! Yay!
Kebak and Mina, $1,000. Kebak and Mina, thank you. Thank you so much.
Wow.
We're at 29, everybody. 29, 11 more to go. 29. 11 more to go. Come on, everybody. Oh, Frank Ingrazelli. Frank Ingrazelli. 1,000.
Woo!
Come on, everybody. Let's do this. We got 11,000 more to go. Come on, everybody. We're at 30,000. Only 10,000 more. Steve Jang, 1,000. Come on, everybody. Stop. Collaborate and listen. I suspect with a brand new invention, something. Brother holds me tightly. If you know the lyrics, I know you're from my era. Turn off the light and I go to the extreme. I rock a mic like a candle. Light up a stage and watch a chunk like a candle. Dance. I'm killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom, deadly. Anything less than the best is a felony. Love it or leave it. You better gain weight. You better hit the bullseye. Kid, don't play. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it. Oh yeah, 33,000. Come on, let's go.
Nice.
Rice, baby. Come on. 34. Rice, baby. Rice. Yeah. Come on. Come on, everybody. Joyce Chung, $1,000. Thank you. 205 539 6955. Albert Ingrazelli, 1,000. Thank you so much. Frank Jr., 1,000. Joyce Chung, 1,000. Thank you so much. We only have 6K more to go. Come on, everybody. Lillian Chun, 1,000. Thank you. Peachtree Avenue. Oh, we're at 36. 4K more. Come on, everybody. Let's keep it going. Let's go. Come on. We still got more headphones, everybody. More headphones. Joyce Chai, 500. Joyce Chai, thank you. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook. All right, come on. We're gonna keep going till the song ends right here. 39. Rice, baby. Come on, we only need $300 more, everybody. 300. 39,900. 100 more. 100 more. 40,000. We hit the market. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. We hit our donation goal, 40,000. Rice, baby. Thank you.
Yay!
41,000. So much. Thank you to everybody. You're all amazing. You're so awesome. And we're all in this together. At this time, we want to bring up our panelists, Soyeon, Yul, Mina, Gala committee members, associate board members, staff, Samsung marketing team, KACF-SF staff. All of you are amazing. Thank you so much.
Wait, Paul, not yet.
Oh, not yet.
We have lots of other videos.
Oh. Apologize. I skipped a page. You're gonna get so mad. We're almost there. Sorry about that.
You got too excited.
Yeah, but we're at 41,500. Thank you so much. 41,500.
So you're bringing me back up. So hi, everyone.
Thank you, Lena.
Should I just go? I can just go. So thank you so much. I mean, that was so exciting to see it. And thank you, PK, for your wonderful rap. I think you need to practice karaoke a little more, though.
I do. I'll practice a lot more here.
So, you know, we actually had this very special video that that's actually very special to me. And it is because it actually highlights an area that we support in our community, but it is in the shadows, and it's rarely discussed in our community. And so this is also, I just want to thank Yor, because he really eloquently shined light on this issue, this very important topic. And so thank you, Yor, for just sharing your personal story as well. And this next video that we're about to share with you today, I have to preface it with this. It took a lot of courage for this young woman to share her story today with all of you. And it really speaks to the work that our nonprofit partners are doing on the ground for our community. So Tina, if you can share this video, that would be great.
I didn't want my mom to find out because it's frowned upon. A lot of Koreans thought that you had a serious issue. They still can't get over the idea of therapy and mental health being something that's completely normal. Yeah, because it's like you're pretty much saying that there's something wrong in your head. And I also didn't think that I needed help. I knew it when I woke up one morning, and then I hated the fact that I opened my eyes. And I wish I never opened my eyes that morning. So I knew then right away that like I needed someone's help. All I could remember, honestly, it's a bit of a blur. I mean, I was able to comprehend his death, but it was more like, I think it affected my mom more than it affected me. Seeing her struggle, being a single parent, was harder for me to see. And I think I was more busy trying to understand my mom. As a firstborn, I didn't have anything to help her with other than translating everything for her. So I felt really bad. And then I started to compare myself to my other friends who are way better in terms of like their career and where they are in their life, at least from my perspective. I think that really let me down at that time. It really didn't help. Whenever I talk to them, I'm so focused on my hardships that I don't think about their hardships. And then when we talk, it's like, oh man, I'm not the only one who's going through this tough time. It's also, you know, everyone's going through tough time in their own unique situations. Yeah, I mean, I was actually proud of myself for just even going to see a counselor. because yeah, I've always been the person who's like, I can do it, like I'll get over it. But like this time I knew I can't without someone's help. I was glad that I was able to assess that about myself. That was very encouraging. And right now, like it's still something that I would completely suggest other people to do.
Thank you so much. Amazing video. And thank you to the nonprofit organization KACF-SF, who's supporting her, to all the nonprofit organizations who do amazing, important work. We all know in Korean culture, a lot of times we sweep things under the rug. We really need to connect more. And I know also for Korean guys, we're not really taught to express ourselves, or it's almost shamed upon. And one of the things that I'm doing right now is I formed a mastermind group with a bunch of dads in my area. Every dad in the group said it's completely saved our lives. It's helped our marriages, our life, everything. And we just, all we do is meet virtually. Well, we were meeting in person before, but virtually now once a month, and we just talk about how we're doing. We help each other, encourage each other. All the wives love it. They're like, oh my gosh, there's dads that get together and talk about your feelings. What is this? And it's completely changed my life. And so I just hope we can help each other and open up, reach out, connect. And thank you once again to KACF-SF. All right, one more time, I want to give an update to our text to give. We smashed this 40K goal. Thank you to everybody. Nancy Kim, 1,000. Sean Peck, 1,000. Soyeon, 1,000. Perry, 1,000. Michael Yang, 1,000. Sunny, 1,000. Catherine Min, 1,000. Sally Carlson, 2,500. Dylan, 2,000. Yo Kwon, 5,000. Thank you so much. Steve Jang, 5,000. And now we're at 53,350. What? Yes, that's amazing. We smashed our goal by 13,000, everyone. So love you all. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Also, silent auction items. Remember, we are bidding on the silent auction items. You can keep bidding all the way till tomorrow at 5 p.m. Look at that. New York City luxury trip package, San Diego, premium resort, Pixar tour, the necessity of every Korean parent, college prep consulting, piano, violin, and college prep hagwon consulting. That's like mandatory. Yes, you see the wine night, tennis, and then also the Count Me In parties. It's exclusive. Whiskey, party at the Battery, take Korean kimchi to space, Chuseok. We have the Culture Wines of France dinner, this great events. So please make sure to go into the auction, get in on it. And before we end, we want to end with a special video from our frontline nonprofit partners to all of you tonight. And we end with a message from our grantee partners about what they receive from all of your support.
In the 4th grade, I remember going to school without speaking any English aside from the little note my mom wrote for me, which said, I don't speak English very well. And I saw my parents navigate this entire new country not being able to speak English. So I really think about the Korean American organizations that are working to serve our community as ones that really supported me and my family.
So the team that I directly supervise is Hockey Team. That's the Barrier Korean Info Line team, and they actually run this call center which is open 9 to 5. It's answered in Korean all the time, and it's really to help community members just navigate community resources and also just navigate the challenges that they're calling us about. We try to engage and involve our community because the real goal is for our community to be visible and be empowered and to be able to raise their own voice.
I think in many ways, this whole experience of being involved with AWS and this work has been, empowering myself and learning how to empower our community together and about community building. We are really excited about the idea of providing a dedicated crisis line and/or even text message service to survivors of violence, knowing that some people are just not comfortable making phone calls. And something that we're really excited to continue to do is provide workshops and curriculum, as well as do a little bit more research to get a really deeper understanding of how things look for a topic that's so hard to talk about.
Some just need a little bit of information, some need like a deeper engagement to basically overcome what they're facing. And that starting point wouldn't ever exist if we didn't have this program. Like if we weren't here, where would these people go? I just want to say we're really fortunate to be not only grantee, but be the partner and beneficiary of KACF's efforts.
For making it possible for myself, as well as each of us, to build our community together and be a part of the change. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, KACF-SF. You're all amazing. We're in this together as a community. Just an update, we're up to $55,000, everyone. So we went over the 40K goal by 15,000. That's just amazing. And you're helping so many people in so many ways that are even unseen, future people. So thank you. It makes me very humbled and emotional. And I think you're all amazing. Now, at this time, I'm going to bring back our, I was so excited earlier, I skipped a page, sorry. We're going to bring back up our panelists, Soyeon, Yul, Mina, Gala committee members, associate board members, staff, Samsung marketing team, everybody that made this night tonight. So big applause, everyone. Even if we can't hear you, big applause, everybody. Cheers from everybody. And we want to meet all of you. It's not too late, but also I know a lot of people are going to have your own Zoom after parties. So we encourage you, send a Zoom link right away, right after this is done, to your friends and connect with them. Maybe some people you haven't talked to in a long time. And let's all connect. Let's all have some after party Zoom. Drink on me, everybody. Drink on me. Let's do it. Also, the auction bidding is not over tomorrow till 5 p.m. So, everybody, I'm gonna play some music from Oakland native MC Hammer. Everybody, come on! Props to KACF-SF. Great job, everybody. Thank you to our guests. Thank you to contributors. Music gets me so hard.
Hi.
Oh my Lord. Oh. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Yeah. Thanks, guys. This is Justin signing off. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Wonderful job. Wonderful job. Thank you.
Great job.
Bye, everybody.
This is a big one. I can't touch. Thank you, everybody. 55,450 is the final tally, and we have more auction items to bid. You're helping so many people. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, the best part of a virtual gala is I get to wear my shorts. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well, usually I can do that, but my fly suit is just one piece, so I cannot do that.
I was in my shorts the whole time.